Hello everyone, welcome to the second lecture of Chinese remainder theorem, and here we'll see the algorithm, how it works. Since the title is given solving procedures of CRT is nothing but Chinese remainder theorem, and here we'll understand the solving procedure with the help of 3 congruents, and in similar way we can apply for the 4 congruents or 5 congruents or 6 congruents. So first we'll understand the solving procedure with the 3 congruents. And here 3 congruence is given as x congruent to a1 mod m1, and second one is x congruent to a2 mod m3 and x congruent to a3 mod m3. Since here we have a 3 congruent, and now to find the x, what procedure we are applying, and that we're going to understand over here. So first we'll start with the step number 1, and step number 1 here they are saying first we need to estimate a1, a2 and a3, where a1, a2 and a3 can be obtained from the standard congruence which is given, that is a1, a2 and a3. Now in similar way we need to estimate m1, m2 and m3. This is a small m, small m1, small m2, small m3, and this small m1, m2, m3 can be obtained from standard congruence which is given, that is m1, m2 and m3. So now after that we'll find capital M, and capital M can be calculated using m1 multiplied by m2 and multiplied by m3, because here we have 3 congruents. So here we are going up to m3 only. Small m1, small m2 and small m3. After multiplying it, here we can find capital M. So now after that we will find capital M1, capital M2 and capital M3. To calculate capital M1 we'll use the formula capital M upon small m1, and capital M has been already calculated and m1 will be obtained from here. In similar case can be applied for m2 and for m3 also. So at the step number 1, what we have done, here we have calculated a1, a2, a3, small m1, m2, m3, capital M and capital M1, capital M2 and capital M3. So now we'll go to the step number 2, and the step number 2 will calculate S1, and S1 will be calculated using the formula capital M1 inverse mod of M1, where the capital M1 inverse mod of M1 can be calculated from inverse modulus concept that already we had seen. In similar way we'll calculate S2 also, and then we'll calculate S3. We are going up to S3 only because here we have 3 congruents, right? So now after the calculation of S1, S2 and S3, we're going to find unknown value x, which is given over here. So it can be calculated using the formula x is equal to small a1, and small a1 is this, and capital M1 will be obtained from here, and small s1 will be obtained from here. Similarly we have a2 will be obtained from here, and then we have s2, and s2 will be obtained from here. Then we'll in similar case can be applied for the a3, m3 and s3 also. So this is how the Chinese remainder theorem will be applicable. Suppose if we have the four congruents, then what we'll do over here? Only thing is that instead of here we have taken a1, a2, a3, here a4 will come, here m4 will come, here capital M will be calculated using the formula m1, m2, m3 and m4, and after that capital M1, capital M2, capital M3 and capital M4 will be calculated. Then S1, S2, S3 and S4 will be calculated. Then in similar way one more term will be added over here in the first operand, that is a4 capital M4 into S4. In this way we can solve the Chinese remainder theorem for the 4 congruents. So this is the end of this procedure, and from the next lecture we'll start with the problem solving part. Thank you.